This is the moment that certainly I have been waiting for, to hear Caren Wakoli, our guest of honor. So, Caren.
I am really, really happy to be here. Chairman of the Langalanga Scholarship Fund and Kariandusi School Trust, Kariandusi, as you commonly refer to him, and the lovely support alongside him and lovely Alison VC, and the Mzee James Foster, and I'm told there's also a board member at Woodard School, Henry Maweu, the officials in the association, officials in your movement basically, and the rest of you, how are you? What do you see? 1,000. Okay, what can this buy? Can this buy anything? What can it buy? Just mention something you think this can buy. Diapers. Yeah, that's a nice one. This side.
Soda Kumi.
So?
Soda.
Soda, yes. Flowers. That side. Can it buy a dress? Can it buy a book? Can it take you to the salon? Can it take you to the barber? Do you want money? Okay. Let's appreciate you. So, hello. So he is called Sammy. Well done, Sammy. You just said repeat it. Now, the most interesting thing about life and opportunities is that sometimes, and most of the time, they never come back again. It just happens once and it's gone. And like Sammy did it, you have to grab it, you seize it, you run. I saw some people saying, yeah, we want the money, but then, we were seated waiting for the money to come to us, really. Life doesn't happen that way. You have to seize opportunities, seize moments. Open your eyes and see. Open your heart and ask yourself, do I want that? And then you run at it, you go for it. So well done. Kindly let's appreciate him again. Thank you very much. So like it's indicated in the program, my remarks this afternoon are going to be around the topic, we are the ones we've been waiting for. You are the one you've been waiting for. A lot of times we look externally, we look outside of us to find answers and solutions, yet we actually are the answers to whatever it is that is happening in our lives. So just put that in mind. You are the one you've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I received a phone call from James Foster for a meeting to just converse on whether I could come and be part of these celebrations today, the Founders' Day celebrations. And he gave me 2 websites to look through to understand what happens around the Scholarship Fund and the Trust Fund. I read through the website and I looked back at my life with so much nostalgia, deep nostalgia. So the reason I accepted to come and the reason I was really moved and said, I really have to go and attend that function. And using your words, I come from a very humble background. And your story is my story, and my story is your story in a big way. And you guys are so blessed and so lucky that you actually have this scholarship fund put together to support you through high school, university, and in your earlier years as a professional. You're so blessed. These things don't happen every day. They don't happen every day. And unlike you, for me, it was a different story. I struggled through school, primary school, high school, together with my siblings, sort of barely making it. But then I think what really kept us going as a family and as siblings was the love we shared in our home. We didn't have much materially in terms of money, finances, and all those things, but we had so much love, so much motivation, so much encouragement. I remember a lot of times, let's say when we would be home from school because there's no school fees, Dad would say, Karen, you could be anything you want to be. Despite the fact that you're home, there's no money to go back to school, you could be anything you want to be. He encouraged all of us. I remember when time came for me to join University of Nairobi. That was actually the first time I was leaving my village to go to the city. I filled out the loans form for Higher Education Loans Board because we were not able to afford the university fees. There was a page where we were supposed to fill out the pay slip for parents. And by then, only my dad was working. So I told him, Dad, I require your pay slip to attach here. And it took him quite some time to give it to me. Then finally, he gave it to me. I don't know what I expected to see, but it's not what I saw. What I saw shocked me. I sat, looked at it, and said, Dad, you mean after working so hard, you sleep late in the night, you leave early in the morning, over the weekends you're here reading, working. This is all you can afford to get at the end of the month. That was less than 10,000 Kenya shillings. I was shocked, I was broken, I didn't understand. And he said, Karen, as you can see, I'm really not able to pay cash in terms of fees. I have had to take loan after loan after loan to take you guys to school. So after all the deductions, this is what I'm left with. And I remember that particular time, every month, Dad would actually give the check to Mom. So I said, but I'm aware you give all the money to Mom. So how do you survive? Do you go for lunch and whatever? And he said, when you see value in something, you have to be prepared to pay the price. So the price I pay is that sometimes I actually don't have lunch, so that then there can be food in this house, then partly you guys can dress up, can go to school, and things like that. And I wondered, okay, so university fees, I think, was going to be around 180-something to 200,000 shillings. And I sat down and I told him, Dad, the only fees you're going to pay for me is this first semester fees. I will work hard, find a job in the course of study to raise enough money to pay the rest of my school fees and support you in taking care of my other siblings. And that was a commitment I made without knowing what it meant or what it was calling for. Till, of course, I joined campus, and I was very passionate. I've always been very passionate about leadership. I got into student leadership. So that means I got a single room, and we used to get an allowance of, I think, about 1,000 to 3,000 shillings a month. So that would keep me going. Then I took over taking care of my younger sister, so we used to stay together in campus. So I'd also pay her fees in college and encourage her to also find some job to do, and then, we keep ourselves going. Then once in a while, when we get the help money, I'd then take part of it, pay fees, buy food, then send some money over home to my mom to take care of the rest, or pay fees for those in primary school. And I'm just so happy that I made that commitment, though it hasn't been easy. I'm told this whole team here of you guys who've been getting scholarships are about 284. I think it takes so much. For me, it partly has been a struggle. So I can just imagine how much more taking care of 284 individuals. I was taking care of 5 individuals. Right now, 2 have completed university, 2 are right now in university, and 1 is in high school, Form 3. But what gives me so much joy, even in doing that, in fact, what encourages me whenever they come home with their report forms or report cards or results, I look at them, sometimes they perform well, sometimes not so well. But I tell myself that I am giving my siblings the best gift I could ever give to them. I'm giving them freedom. I'm giving them independence. I'm giving them wings to fly. I remember once my mom telling me, Karen, you know, the situation you're living in is not so good. This is poverty. But we can get out of it. The only way out of poverty is the mindset. And the only way to change your mindset is education. So when you get a chance to go back to school, work so hard, get yourself out of poverty, and get us out of poverty. So I look at you guys today and I'm happy for you. Please don't waste this chance. Don't let it go. I've interacted with some of you, like Daniel. We had a brief conversation. And Daniel told me he's now at Karatina University, first year. And if it were not for this scholarship fund, he wouldn't have gone to school. And I'm sure that is the story of many of us, like the artist, David. He talked earlier on and said, my life before I got the scholarship was total darkness. Now, I don't know what your story is before the scholarship, during the scholarship, and after the scholarship, especially for the senior professionals. But I'm sure your life has changed because of the love, the scholarship. I've just seen how the love is shared. You know, if you want to see a place where there's love, like genuine love and sharing, it's this place. I just sat there, listened to the conversations when we were at tea break. I saw guys hugging, laughing, telling stories. This is really nice. I think this is what life should be. It should be all about happiness and being able to pursue our dreams without any fear, intimidation, or anything like that. But at the same time, I'm very sure that in the course of this journey, it hasn't been easy. Maybe you've come across people who tell you, you can't do it. You're from a poor background. Or you're not this, you're not that. You don't have this, you don't have that. Never, ever let anyone decide your destiny for you. Never, ever let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. Only you can do that through your mind. Only you can do that. Only I can determine how far I can go. And I'd just like to take this time to share a few lessons that I have learned personally in my own life, living every day as it comes. I've learned that it is important to have a dream. It is important to have a vision and put it down on paper. Begin to see it, visualize it, create something called a dream board. What do you want to see 5 years from today? Who do you want to become 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from today? Visualize that, have a picture of that, even have cuttings from newspapers and magazines, and paste them together in maybe a manila paper, and be looking at it every day. You wake up in the morning. Sometimes you don't feel like waking up, but you look up and you see your dreams, and you're like, no, I have to work. Because dreams are good, but you have to work for them to become a reality. One other important thing, lesson number 2 for me, is that purpose is key. I have come to the conclusion that the worst thing that can happen in this life is not death. The worst thing that can happen is to live a life without purpose. I think that's the most tragic, terrible, pathetic life one can live. I just can't imagine how it's possible to just be trudging on in the journey of life without knowing where you're going, what you want to do, or knowing why you're here in the first place. I got to a certain point in my life when I started asking the question, who am I? What am I here for? What makes me me? What makes me special? It's not easy to find that purpose, but keep searching. I'm very sure many of us have found it. For those of us who are still on the journey, please don't stop. Keep searching. Keep searching. You will find it. And purpose has everything to do with passion. What you love to do. The things that make you happy. But sometimes it has something to do with what ticks you off, what angers you, what annoys you, what gives you sleepless nights, what makes you cry, what makes your heart groan. What is that thing? Is it about bad roads or bad infrastructure? Is it about education, like for the VCs? Is it about children? Is it about empowering women? Is it about empowering young people? Is it about music? Is it about art? Find that thing that makes your heart beat. Find that thing that makes you fire up. Get fired up, be on fire, because going through life in a dull way without fire, when the light within you is dimmed, can be so bad and so dark. Because we all are created with the ability to find that purpose and live it and thrive. And life is short. Some of us die at 20, but then the physical death happens, let's say, at 80. So we're just a walking dead. That's really bad. Some people die at 50 or 80 or 90 and are forgotten within a short period of time, maybe the week the person dies. Some people die at, let's say, 30, and they're remembered. People like Martin Luther King Jr., Mandela, Mother Teresa, Wangari Maathai. How come these names keep living on generation after generation? What is so special about those people? They found something they were willing to die for. And I know that something is in each and every one of us. Find it, find that something, and run with it. Just like Sammy did earlier on. If you are able to pursue purpose like the way you did, you will definitely reach it. Because you are almost falling down, there was somebody else coming, but then your eye was on the goal. Your focus was there. That is what I want, and you ran for it. So let's pursue that purpose, and let's pursue that fire and passion in our lives with that singular focus and singular purpose. Number 3, develop the required discipline to be able to achieve your dreams and be who you can be in life. Disciplines such as hard work. I think right now we're living in an era where shortcuts are really the in thing, but then those things are short-lived. What is lasting is the excellence we build every single day. Excellence just doesn't happen. Success just doesn't happen. Some of the successful people we see, even amongst the scholars, the senior scholars we have, there's a story to it. There's a story of hard work. There's a story of consistency, persistence, never giving up. Because let me not lie to you, moments will come when all you will want to do is throw in the towel and continue sleeping or die or just be there and just watch life pass by you. But then they never gave up. I have had those moments, many of them. I haven't given up. I'm not going to give up. So you must never, ever give up. When you reach to that point when you feel like you want to give up, just tell yourself, let me try one more time. Let me push one more time. Concerning motherhood, you talked about diapers. I'm coming back to it. So when you have a pregnant mother giving birth and she's told to push, you have to push. When you fail to push, your child will die. So even that dream that you have, you must keep pushing. You must keep pushing day in, day out. Even if it means crawling, crawl. If it means your heart and you're bleeding, but you still have to crawl on your knees, just do it. Don't stop. Keep pushing until your baby comes to fruition. Because when you don't, the baby will die, and you may also die. So persist. Don't give up. Keep focused. Stay focused. Keep your eye on the goal. And those little disciplines like, let's say, keeping time, working hard, enduring, Those things are really key. Begin to build those disciplines within you. They will really help you go a long way. There's something else I'd like to share. This is one key lesson for me. Embrace failure with grace. Because I can assure you, moments are going to come when you will fail at pursuing your dreams or pursuing something, but you don't stop there. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. One foot in front of another, slowly by slowly, one day at a time. Embrace failure. I have learned so much from failure, I believe, than I have learned from the successes I've had. Failure teaches you so many lessons. It teaches you to be humble. It teaches you about yourself, things about yourself you didn't know, like resilience and things like that. So embrace failure. Personally, I look forward to failing many more times. Please look forward to failing as many times as you can, because then it means you're living life. You're opening up your mind, you're opening up your heart, you're learning. Every single day you're learning, you're attempting stuff, you're taking risks. Please do that. Embrace failure with grace. It's a good thing. Second last lesson is, thoughts are things. Our thoughts are actually things. Whatever we think becomes. It's like our words, that the thoughts become words, and whatever we speak repeatedly becomes, and begin to do, becomes a habit. And then a habit defines our character, and that basically shapes our destinies. So before you even see this building, this amazing building, this school right here, it was first a thought. It was an idea. It didn't begin with a design and a structure and finances to actually put this up. It was first a thought. Maybe even a dream, during the night or during the day when you're taking a nap. But it was first an idea. Then maybe the idea was spoken to somebody. Then they kept speaking about that idea. They began to see the fruition of that idea. And then they now got the life into the idea to keep pushing and pushing and pushing till this moment we have these amazing individuals, the buildings, the schools, even what you guys are putting up. It all begins with a thought. So be very careful about what you think about, because it becomes. For instance, when you wake up one morning and say, I'm unwell, and you're actually not unwell, you'll realize that by the end of the day, you'll be feeling so unwell. Imagine that's how fast our thoughts get converted into real life. Like, we are today who we are, and what we are doing today, what we thought about yesterday. And we will be tomorrow and live the kinds of life we live tomorrow from the thoughts we are thinking today. Even if those thoughts are so far-fetched, imagine they will become real. I have one question in line with that. A story is told of two dogs that were fighting. One was white, the other one was black. And they fought and fought and fought. And one of the dogs actually won the battle. Which one do you think won? The white one or the black one? Anyone? You think the white one? The black one? Why?
Looks like the black one knows how to hustle, knows how to fight. It's not afraid of anyone.
Thank you. Let's appreciate him. So, just imagine that the dog that won the battle was actually the dog that was well fed. If the white dog had been well fed, then it definitely won the battle. If it was the black dog, then it won. So even in our own lives, in our own minds, body, spirit, soul, there are those battles that happen. I'm sure for some of us being here was a serious battle. Can I go? Can I not go? Should I do it? Should I not? There are always battles going on. Decisions and choices face us all the time in life. But whatever wins is what we feed. Whether it is success, positivity, good health, happiness. If that is what you feed, imagine that is what will win. But if you feed self-pity, negativity, bad attitude, that is what will win. And what you see in the outside is basically a manifestation of what is inside. It's never the other way around. Sometimes we try to apply makeup and look pretty and nice, and we're all in suits and ties and stilettos and all those things. But then the moment you just scratch the surface a bit, you begin to see a different picture. So the answer lies in working on the inside, our thoughts, our mind. Let's grow ourselves from the inside to be able to shine and radiate life and light on the outside. So be careful about what comes here. And our lives are actually determined by the stories we tell ourselves, the interpretations we make about the stories that happen in our lives. Finally, we have to always strive to continually improve ourselves. If we can strive to be better today than we were yesterday, the better. We strive to be better tomorrow than who and what we are today, the better. There's an author by the name Alvin Toffler who said that the elites of the 21st century will not be the people who can't read or write, but it will be the people who can't learn and relearn. There are things we need to unlearn, like habits, attitudes, perceptions, and things like that. There are things we need to learn, again, about attitudes and life and many other things about life. But there are things we need to relearn. We keep learning, we keep relearning, we keep getting refreshed in our minds. So always be on that move where you're continuously learning, getting better. And how do we learn? Interacting with people. I loved it when I saw you guys interacting, and you're at different levels. That interaction causes growth, because growth does not just happen in a vacuum. It happens in a space where some exchanges are happening. So whether you're exchanging it, with an author through a book, or with individuals through spoken word, or watching some motivational film or talk, growth happens there. So seek to grow every single day. Because when you don't, look at, for instance, the companies that don't grow with time. They collapse and they die. And that is the same thing that happens with us. When we don't read, somebody talked earlier on about the fact that we need to keep reading. Reading is really good. You can't lead without reading. And it's almost impossible to keep reading and fail to lead, because you learn. And as you learn, you begin to lead yourself and begin to lead other people. So keep learning. And as I come to the end, I'm driven by something so powerful. And that's something I saw it here when I walked in. And to me, I consider this to be the most powerful force in the world. And it's called love. And I'm sure if we were to each one of us begin to tell our stories about how love has changed our lives, we might be here till the end of the year. And there's a chorus I remember that says, love lifted me, when nothing else could do, love lifted me. How many of us know the chorus? It's a simple country song. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could have, love lifted me. So when you get lifted, you don't get lifted and stay there alone. You lift other people. You walk with other people. You push other people around you. You become the love that lifts somebody else up. And I've also come to discover that love is at the core of leadership. To lead, you must serve. But to serve, you must love. And to love, you must serve. So leadership, love, serving, leading, all these things are intertwined. You can't lead without love. You can't lead effectively without love. And you can't love without serving. You can't lead without serving. They go together. So let's learn to embrace service and loving each other, the less fortunate in society. Being the love, the answer that lifts people up. A compliment, a smile, a word of encouragement, a little push, mentorship for the younger ones, for instance. That makes a whole lot of a difference. I encourage you to do that and to keep doing that. And especially right now in our country where we have people in positions of authority who are not leaders but thought of to be leaders. And the story is all about me, myself, my tribe, and I. And like our friend here talked about earlier on in the essay, corruption is happening, it's high. And the answer to all those things, I believe, lies right here. The answer to Kenya's problems, Kenya's challenges, lies right here. It's with the young people. We have a great nation. It's a beautiful, amazing nation with great potential. But with poor leadership, the quality of life also becomes poor. The answer lies with young people. There's a Ghanaian author, Ai Kwei Ama, who wrote a book and said that she believed that the beautiful ones of Africa are not yet born. Or if they are born, they were just born the other day. And who are the beautiful ones of Africa, according to her? They are those young people who have not been corrupted in their minds by power, money, corruption, and all those things. So are you that beautiful person for Kenya? And I'm sure we have these beautiful people, these beautiful young Kenyans here. You're the answer. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I think for a long time we've sat on the fence and waited for some people somewhere to come and provide solutions and answers. Yet maybe we are the answers. And that change begins with you and I. Just a little action with a little bit of love, being a leader of integrity, doing the right thing. Sometimes it's difficult, but when you purpose and be deliberate, you can do it. And we can begin to set the agenda for our nation and make a difference. And I do believe that we have more than enough resources to serve our needs as a people, from education, food, sanitation, water, and all those things. We have more than enough. However, we do not have enough to meet the greed of their few people who are greedy. And we have to begin to change that by changing ourselves and being the example that we want to see in other people. And I leave you with one of my favorite quotes about fear by a lady called Marianne Williamson in a book called A Return to Love. I recommend this book to all of us. It's an amazing book. If you can't find it, a hard copy, they're actually all over in bookshops. You can do the YouTube. There's an audiobook of the same. And she says that our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, fabulous, talented? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. And we're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is in each and every one of us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in each and every one of us. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you very much.